6y equals 5, and then a is 2y equals 7.
And then we're trying to find what?
A and b values for one solution.
Okay, so what do I mean by one solutions? What is a one solution in terms of system equation? What can you tell me? Anyone besides Jada, if Jada doesn't know? Yes, Annika? And that must means what? Armin? They not have to perpendicular, no. McKenna? True. Brendan? They have different slope. That's it. The keyword is different slope. Keyword is different slope. So the question that I posted, hold on, let me pull the question up because I don't remember what the question is. Pre-calc. All you gotta do is figure out 2x plus 6y equal to 5. All you gotta figure out the slope. So 6y equal to negative 2x plus 5 divided by 6. So negative 2 over 6 is the slope, which is equal to negative 1/3. Okay, and the other side is going to be ax plus by is equal to 7. By equal to negative ax plus 7 divided by b. So that's equal to negative a over b. So negative 1 over 3 compare to negative a over b. Well, we can do like 1 over 3 and just compare a to b. So then if you think about it, the first one, the answer is 1 and 3, so it'll be 1 over 3. That is same slope. 2 over 6, same slope. 4 over 12, same slope. The only choice that give you different slope is C, because it's 3 over 8. And that's gonna be no solutions. Oh, that's gonna be one solution. Next question. This is how you're gonna treat this SAT question. Always just solve for y and compare the slope and compare the y-intercept. Next question. Brendan? 6. Oh, the one with okay, yeah, that's a good one. First of all, there is a line, and this line is gonna be 6, 0, and 0, 4. Now, what's the difference between yesterday's homework question? The only question that is gonna go through here and has to go through origin, and that is negative 3 comma k. But they say this is perpendicular to each other, so well, can I figure out the slope of this one? Slope of this one is going to be 0 minus 4, 6 minus 0. Is that okay? Did you figure out a slope? Did you apply the to here, which is perpendicular? So what will be the slope? Okay, 6 over 4. Okay, so it'll be 3 over 2, right? And they say, what is the value of k? But remember, it goes through origin. Do you see that?
Yeah.
If we go through origin, that means y is equal to 3 over 2x. Does that make sense? And you just had to figure out k is, so it's just plug in the negative 3, so it'd be negative 9 over 2. Because it once, the thing is that you have to read the inferring. Inferring is where they intersect the 0. If they intersect the 0, that must mean 0 over 0. So can I construct an equation just based on that 0 as y equal to 2 third x? Anybody got this one right? Very impressive. Yes.
Why is it set?
This point 0, 0, right? So if I had y minus 0 equal to 3 over 2 x minus 0, would it be y equal to 3 over 2 x? And then just plug in negative 3. A very strong question, by the way. It's like Neil, did you get this one right? Yeah. No. See, that's what you need to train to do, is to see the question. What is the question referring to you? So now unstructured question now start giving to you now. You're gonna see unstructured are different. Your AP exam is gonna be unstructured. It's not always gonna give you the same. You have to have the will to find out what's the right answer. And that will is gonna help you find a clue. The clue is 0, 0. Good job, Annika and McKenna and Safa. I think Safa got it right. Yeah. Charlotte, did you get it? No. Okay. See, Charlotte and Neil, very good test score. But now you guys gotta get used to when the question is given to you in different style. So then you have to figure out a way. And you guys are definitely smart enough. So now you gotta practice, especially those questions. Those questions that you weak on, then that's a question that you should be very, very focused on. I gotta get this. It doesn't matter what it costs. I gotta get this. Okay. Next question.
Why wouldn't it be negative 2? Because if you went like down on the graph and you went
What do you mean -2? On this particular question?
Oh, sorry. I think I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Reading is probably a big part. They say what's the value K. So always read the last sentence when you do the SAT. Read the last sentence over again. Next question. Yes.
I didn't understand G or H for number 1.
Okay, let's go look at that. G or H are assigned to this looking for K. K of 4 is right here, and K of 4 is gonna be 3. Does that make sense? Because K is right here, G is right here, F is right here. Is that okay? Now I'm gonna find out what the F of 3 is, then I plug in 3 here. So that's gonna be -43. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then plug in here. So that is -85, I think. So you read the K. K is based on graph rather than based on equation. On your AP pre-calc, you gotta be able to read the graph, table, and chart. This is practice multiple different things. Next questions. And H, right? H, you're gonna read H1. So the H1 is -2. So it'll be G of F of -2. And -2 square is gonna be 4. 4 times -5, -20, -18. So G of -18 and -35. I think that's the final answer. Any more questions before we move on? Everybody log in on AP Classroom yet? Anybody haven't? Do it now. You haven't? Gotta do it. Otherwise, you're not gonna register for the test. Okay. Can I talk about today's stuff? Good. Okay, we're gonna talk about a big topic. It's called inverse function. Now I'm gonna teach you this inverse function in the pre-calc level now. The pre-calc level is gonna be a lot higher than what I have teach in Algebra 2. You guys ready? Okay. You're gonna write down notes, and those notes is gonna help you. Inverse function is gonna note it as this. This is what they look like. Now, if you're talking to each other, and if you say that's f of the -1 power, I will beat you. Why do you think I will beat you? Huh?
Because you can have a negative exponent.
You can have a negative exponent, but that's not what a negative exponent. You're on the right track, but it's not because you cannot have a negative exponent. Because people think f inverse of x is gonna be, if you read as negative exponent, that's gonna be look like this. This is wrong idea, so I'm gonna write down wrong idea. It's gonna be 1 over f of x, but that does not equal to each other because the negative exponent bring down, and that's not what I meant. This is called reciprocal. So it's not inverse. So inverse is a little bit different. So you're gonna read this as inverse. If you don't want me to kick you when I get a conversation. And that's not a threat, it's a promise. It's a live stream. Okay, so inverse function. You're gonna read the f inverse. It doesn't matter what you did. You have to read it correctly. A lot of people don't know how to read math, and this is how you read it. So when you see that f inverse of x. Now, how can you tell the difference? You can't really tell the difference because if it's a f of the -1, it should be written as 1 over f of x rather than f inverse of x. Okay, so that's the first thing. So how do I find the inverse of x? So always how to find inverse of x. Then I'm gonna say f of x equal to 3x minus 2. How to find the inverse of x? First, change f of x to y. So y equal to 3x minus 2. Second step is swap all x and y. So that is x equal to 3y minus 2. Does that make sense? 3. Solve for y. Solve for new y. So that is going to be 3y equal to x plus 2. Y equal to x over 3 plus 2 over 3. I split them. 4. Change the new y with f of x, f inverse of x. So f inverse of x equal to x over 3 plus 2 over 3. You've done this in algebra 1 or algebra 2. But the one question I'm going to give it to you next is a little bit harder. You guys ready? Fairly easy, right? 4 steps. Change the f of x to y first so that you can swap y and x. All y and all x. So sometimes you have multiple x. The x is going to change to y change to x. Got it? Okay, so this is the question I want you to do. I want you to find the inverse function of this. This looks like kind of like a pig problem, but in a different style. So guess what? You're going to get the same question again. I love the same question. Here's a different style now. Your algebra 2 never did something like this because most of you guys cannot do it. But in pre-cal, we're going to make you stronger students. Bless you.
Thank you.
many of you guys got done? Good, Safra. Neil, good. Bennett. I really cannot wait to see next Bennett score. I think he's improving a lot. How many of you guys got stuck? Alright. That's because you don't know how to solve pig problem. That means I had to give you more pig problem. Y equal to 2x over x minus 1. You did that? Okay. Just swap. Circle the y that you are solving for this, right? What do you do next? Get rid of fraction, right? Yep. And y is inside a parenthesis. Go rescue them. This is y is right here. Go rescue them. They are just inside a parenthesis. Move all the y-related term on the same side. Take it out y. What's the difference between this pig problem? No difference. Same problem. And guess what? Now you're gonna have on the next test from a same question from before, but just different way of asking. This is the inverse function. Am I going too fast? You wanna try again? Okay, this time I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Check with your group leader, see what they get and versus what you get. You got it? Check it out.
How'd you get the ones?
The one.
I got
Yeah,
one.
but move it.
You multiply by 3x minus 2. You get 7. I think you get 3y minus 2. Where did you multiply the 3? At the beginning?
It's the same equation.
Okay, I multiply 3y minus 2 plus 3 and then 3y is equal to 2y minus 2. You know how
You guys actually seen this before, right? Yeah. Sometimes inverse function, very rarely they will do that, is because a function is inverse to each other.
Factor out y.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna look at this graph. So I'm gonna compare those two graphs, and you're gonna tell me what's the things that you can extract from that graph. So I'm gonna compare 2x over x minus 1 over negative x over 2 minus x. I'm gonna show you what a graph does. Okay, so I'm gonna go to decimals. Do you guys remember what's the equation? 2x over what? X minus 1? And what was the inverse to that one? What was the inverse to that one?
Negative x over 2 minus x.
Over what?
2 minus x.
Okay, do you guys see this? See the black graph and the purple graph. Now, what do you see? Probably see nothing, right? Just see normal graph. Do something here, but I have to show you something first. They are symmetry to each other. And you'll be like, what? They are symmetry to each other. Do you see the symmetry? Where do you see the symmetry? Symmetry to what? Y-axis, x-axis, what? Symmetry to what? Yes, Robert? Y equal to x. Good job. And that's the symmetry of. Do you see that mirror image? See the black line? And the purple line pass beyond 3. They are mirror to each other. Before 3 is also the same thing. They mirror image to each other. Where's your Celsius? Just remember, you had to bring one for Mr. Ye, so you're gonna bring one for yourself. There's a refrigerator you can store. You can store a whole case in here. I'm gonna give one to Yen so he doesn't fall asleep. Oh, Yen's not sleeping today. Is he? Huh? Hi, Yen. How's a nap? All right. So I'm gonna show you the table of this one versus the table of this one. So I'm gonna show you. I can click on the table, and I'm gonna show you something that's interesting. So if I type in if I type in -2, right, I got 1.333, which is 4/3, by the way. And if I type in here, if I say 4/3, guess what I get? What do you see here? I'm sorry, 4/3. So you see that 4/3 and -2, and the other one, this is also 4/3. Do you see that? Do you see the x and y coordinate swap? Okay, so I can name any coordinate. So let's just say if I name, let's say -8, right? And let's do -9. Okay, let's do -9 here. And guess what? If I type in here, if I type in 1.8, what am I gonna get? Do you see that x, y, and coordinate swap? This is a super important idea. This is so important idea that normally people don't understand. How much time I have?
1 minute.
Huh?
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay. So the only things I want you to be able to do today is to figure out this. If this is a g of x, now today's your question is gonna be implement composite function with inverse function. So you're gonna have to figure out a way. So today I didn't teach you, but you gotta have to figure out. So if I have a function like this, right? Sorry, that was bad. Hold on. Okay, if I have this one, my question is, hey, when is g of x equal to 3? Where is the x? Where's the x? Before you go, you gotta figure out, if g of x is equal to 3, what is x? X is equal to what? 2. Okay, so that we're gonna build on this for tomorrow. But today, your composite function is gonna have to have an inverse. You're gonna have to figure out how to deal with the inverse this time. Harry?
It's okay. I'm ordering lunch. I'm ordering. I need to ask doctor.
AP Classroom is on the chat. Go scroll back. Maybe 2 days ago, somebody posted. Yeah. So you're gonna have to make a decision. There's no excuses. I don't take excuses for other things. A push. Everybody's gonna complain about stalker. Everybody's gonna complain about this. Everybody's gonna complain about that. I'm not taking any of that. If that's the case, that's not a class. This is not a class for you. So you're gonna have to decide.
Like what?
Decide whether you stay here or not.
Don't want to leave this class.
Then you gotta act like it. Because right now you act like the last 4 days that you had opportunity to do homework, you didn't do a single one of them. And you are just telling me all kind of excuse that doesn't make sense. What did A push got to do with this class? Nothing. What did theory got to do with this class? Nothing. None of those are gonna be matter. The only thing is did you do your work? Okay, then if you're gonna do it, you gotta start acting like it. Okay. Bye.
Can I have a pass to the next class?
Where are you going?
Into we're going straight to second period, right? I believe so for the block period.
I don't have pass, but whatever.
It's
How far is it?
Miss Levine's class, AP2D art. In the 500 building near the 1100.
What happened here? Yeah, can you give more time? Muslim Marine. Just tell her to email me.
Thank you so much. The private tutor, is that in this, is she here or am I gonna meet her?
Yeah, you're gonna meet her. Her name is Ellie. She usually stay after school to helping out people anyway, but she
Okay.
can tutor you
All right, thank you.
if you already
Already
established
signed
your
up for that, yeah.
Yeah.
You said it was this Wednesday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Omar,
Yeah.
can you bring more paper towel for her? I think somebody, I think Sydney already did, but need more. Where are you going? Just take the trash can here and just throw it in. Huh? No, today is implicit derivative. The homework, you have homework question. You can. We have 2 hours tomorrow, right? Right? You got enough? Yeah, all my brain more. Just throw it in the trash can over there. Yeah, just clean most of the water out. It's fine. Thank you. Just throw it away now. I think should be enough. They will dry out like same thing.
I'm thinking today's a long.
That's okay. It's a fine. It's most of the thing is fine. Let's get going. Just throw that away. It should be fine. It'll dry out rest of. Whoa. Oh. Where are you going? Hey, how are you going?
Sorry, am I gonna?
Yeah, you can go. Thank you, Omar. All right, so most of you guys, I give you the implicit derivative video to watch. Hopefully you watched it. It'll be a lot easier if you did today, because yeah, we're gonna go through all of them.
So we're doing implicit derivatives today.
I mean, we can go through today and tomorrow both, but we can go break it up. But we can finish your homework first. Do you have any homework questions?
With light work. You watch the video? What if we just don't do the lesson, we just watch the video?
Huh?
No. What? Stupid question. I'm not gonna, if we don't do the lesson, we just watch the video. No.
Oma actually did watch the video. I mean, no, Nathan watched the video, right?
Long video. I watched 1.25 I watched 20 minutes.
All right, homework question first before we go over the implicit derivative. Yes. Huh?
We do number 8.
Number 8. Somebody already did on the board.
Is there anything you could still be 4?
4? Yeah, sure. Right on the board.
It's one of the onion questions. Sine 4, or can I read it out?
Right on the board.
You guys saw me just.
Yeah.
You have to find that.
Nathan, can you help out with the 4?
Where would you?
Any other question for besides number 8? Do you understand number 8?
Yeah.
Because you basically take a derivative on both sides and you approach that points. And you also do the same thing on the original equation, approach the same points.
Okay, I got you. See if sine is equal to. So that's the first thing, then you're gonna go. Then that's. But then you should be able to do.
Any other question besides number 8?
No, the whole thing. Yeah.
Number 9 is same thing. You're gonna try number 9. You take a derivative on both sides, and you say limit x approach that value, and then you're gonna do the original function. It's the same question, right?
Yeah.
So Sophia, do you did number 9?
She's not seen about
Only science.
a different
A 1 over x? Sophia, do you know how to do that one?
Shouldn't we do this for my speaking?
No?
Yeah, I got the
I did it.
You did it? Okay, Teresa, do on the board. Teresa's so happy. She's like, I did it.
The definition of derivative on the outside, not because that fancy the sandwich. No, what I mean is, you're right?
Teresa's like one of the coolest person I've ever met. It's like every time you see her, she smiles. She doesn't. I never see her have frown face. Do you ever have frown face?
Like if I'm
I don't think you ever have a frown face. She's always smile.
No. You do the derivative of one layer and then keep it, and then the derivative of the next layer, keep going like it's much fun. Yeah. And don't forget the board. But actually, no,
Don't forget the limits.
Oh.
That's okay. Just write down limit.
Derivative of 10. Yeah, it's the same thing. No, close. If it code goes to code. If it's has a C, keep the C. So then you go to it. cosecant of x, the 4x to the x. And then I do it.
What I do?
Everything in the reverse. You just tell them like the number.
You keep change flip the h, flip to the flip to the 1 over h, and 1 over h will cancel out the h. You divide it by h is same thing as times 1 over h, yeah.
So it'll be 1 over x minus 1 over x?
Yeah, so it'll be negative 1 over x squared. So h gonna approach 0, so it's gonna be negative 1 over x squared. So what she forgot to do is h forgot to approach 0. Then you're gonna get negative 1 over x squared. But she did most of the work. Right? She just forgot to h approach 0.
If we multiply by the reciprocal, won't that leave 1 over x minus 1 over x?
No. Because the h is gonna cancel out. You divide it by h, right? So it's times 1 over h. The h and h will cancel out. And that's gonna be negative 1 over x times x plus h. Now h approach 0, so it's gonna be negative 1 over x squared.
Derivative of ax to the third power was 3x.
Right. So I don't know why he can't.
3ax squared. Because 3 is in the front. A x squared.
No.
A is just a number. It doesn't. It's still there. Right? You should take a derivative of the x cubed equal to 3x squared and then realign it.
So you have to split it. You have to split it. If you're doing a derivative, you get. But what do you do? The derivative? Of secant, yeah. Well, yeah. To take the derivative of secant, that's it. So you're telling me that this thing right here, and it's.
So in the graph, you said we have to learn how to read graph. Maybe looking for the
And evaluation. So it's like g of 1 and g prime of 1. So g prime of 1 means x equal to 1. What is the slope on x equal to 1? G of 1 is what's the y value.
Without the value. But what if even with exponential?
The main thing that kind of confuses everybody is it's f of g of x.
Yeah. Then you have to take a derivative of f of g of x. So that's going to be f prime of g of x times g prime of x. Those are actually pretty easy. They are not that hard.
Do we do 6b?
What is 6b?
That's y equals tangent x minus 2.
Yeah, that one has no answers.
Undefined?
Because secant square of x is never equal to 0.
Yeah. That was like. It was like. Well, yeah.
All right. Kevin, you got it?
Yeah.
You know the time we have on Friday? So like
47 minutes. Planning.
Not the one we just had.
and then you can
Huh?
No, not.
At least we gotta be able to finish like 2 or 3.
Why not?
When you do the onion, like the third power, like question, you only stick to the first layer, plug in the first line, find the whole, like the rest, not to the power 3, so only like the first one. Alright.
Yeah, so you just do it and then you multiply it by like. Yeah, that's fine.
No, you said it right.
You guys read right out. This is what I like to do. I like to simple the lowest.
You like to post it for the change, you like to
The lowest power.
so like, that's the, like, no, but it's easy, like, it's like S. You just find really wide. It's like S, I bet. It's like probably one of the easiest to do.
All right.
Yeah, over here. Oh, and then you just solve it and then you multiply and you get rid of it. Minus 1.5.
We have to like plug in the form. Oh, okay. Do that, you don't need like, all you need to do is
Minus
all you need is
Okay, so like, literally all it is, right? Plug in the. Yeah, and then otherwise.
All right. So Tony was here last year, and he had some tests that he got 12% on, and so I don't think that it's fair that Tony have extra advantage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell Tony to post that old test online. It's really similar to this test. And it has all the questions that I just write down for the last 2 days. It has all the questions. So that way that nobody has unfair advantage. So, well, thanks to Tony that he failed last year. So he's gonna contribute to, because I saw him, he was taking out his old test and he started doing old tests. I was like, that's not fair because you have an extra thing. It's not also not right for me to take away his test. So I'm just gonna say, hey, Tony, post your old test for everybody so everybody can benefit. Huh?
He's the wrestler?
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler.
Yeah. But he also gonna show you he got 12%. But so hopefully this year he will do a lot better with his 1 day extra. He's actually, you know, yeah. So you are gonna, yes, the test is gonna be roughly very similar to whatever things that we post. That's just extra set of practice. So I'm gonna ask him to post it later when I see him do it today.
So do a derivative test for homework.
No, you gotta do implicit derivative right now. We're worried about implicit derivative right now. So at least we gotta finish. So what is explicit and implicit? Explicit is like you have y equal to, I don't know, 6 over square root x minus 6x squared. So something like this. This is, if you take a derivative of this is called explicit. Why? You got y by itself. So if I take a derivative of this side, then it's going to be dy dx. And even though the notation is implicit, but you know, you just had to do a derivative of this. You move the 6 to the, this is a one test question, by the way. So it's going to be x minus 6x squared to the 1/2 negative. And then you're just going to take a derivative of that is equal to 6 times negative 1/2 times x minus 6x squared to the negative 3/2 times 1 minus 12x. And that is going to give you negative 3 times 1 minus 12x over x minus 6x squared to the 3 over 2. So this just one question on the test. Because I have a constant on the top, I have a chain rule, but this is an explicit derivative. This is y equal to. It's easy. What if it doesn't have y equal to? What if you got x, y is equal to 1?
We divide by x.
Well, you can isolate. And now that's still a explicit derivative because you got y equal to something, right? We know that y prime is going to be negative 1 over x squared, but is it possible I can take a derivative from here? It's actually possible.
Dyx over dx.
No, there's a product rule. That's why you should have watched your video yesterday. Make your life easier. And increase my watch time.
What's your watch time so far?
I don't know. I never check. It's not enough to even generate 1 cent for me, so it's probably
Have you monetized your channel yet?
Do you have ads?
huh?
Do you have ads?
I don't know. Does it have that?
Monetize it.
Stupid. Nobody even watch it. Why would I monetize it? You know, like Google is not even worth for them to send me money because the stamp costs more. They're like, yep, it's not worth it. 35 cents for us to send you 2 cents check. Huh?
Like how do you find the derivative? Just divide x.
Yeah, that's called explicit, but it's possible for me to take a derivative. So x, y go to 1, it's possible for me to do that. So this case, you can isolate for y, right? Now, what if I have this? Xy squared minus 6y is equal to 8. Is it possible to isolate for y here?
No. Why? Can we factor out a y?
Okay, so if you factor out y, what will happen?
Yeah, we'll call the y.
You can divide to the other side, but you didn't really isolate, right? So what happened with this situation? This situation now, not able to take a derivative. So you had to know 2 people in a row at in calculus. If people ever ask you, the first person is everybody know, Isaac Newton. I mean, he get all the credit because, but he copied a lot of his work from someone else. The other person was Limbus. Gottfried Limbus is a German mathematician. Contribute probably half the amount of work as Newton, but he didn't get the credit, unfortunately. But he's also a great man, and he's a person that really established different type of notation to help calculus. So this part of derivative is called implicit derivative because you cannot isolate for y anymore. If you see there's a y here, it's not really isolated, so it's not able to isolate y. So then we say, hey, is it possible to just take a derivative of this? The truth is, so I'm gonna start by a simple derivative. If I take a derivative of x squared, what am I gonna get? 2x. We already know that it's 2x. But problem, there's something that you don't see here. There's something that you don't see. I'm gonna write in the light green here. Is there is 2 layers, right? If you do chain rule, you take the 2x, but you also have to take a derivative of x. Derivative of x is what?
1.
But it's actually dx over dx, because you take derivative of x with respect to x. So this is 1, but usually don't write it down, so we just write down 2x. That fairly easy. Now what happens if you take a derivative of y squared? Nathan, I know you watch a video, so you know it. Good. Turns out there's a 2 layer as well, right? But 2y, we got that, easy. But there's more. You gotta take a derivative of y with respect to x. So guess what? This is the f prime of x, dy dx. And some people say, what is dy dx? Dy dx, it's a slope of a function. Think about it. D stand for delta y, delta x. It's changing y over changing x. Simple things like this. Now, what happens if I take a derivative of x squared y to the 5? And actually, matter of fact, I put a 6 in front of it. I'm gonna guide you this time. For me, that 6 is not important. Just like yesterday, you take a derivative of the ax cubed. The a is still there, right? We just take a derivative of the x cubed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So that 6 still there. And best yet, just write down 6 and write down parentheses. You don't have to do anything else, just write down 6 parentheses. And then just focus on derivative of x squared y. What's derivative of x squared y to the 5th?
2x 5y 4.
No, come on, Omar, you can do better than that. What are you missing? No. Omar, what did you say?
I missed the product for y.
Yeah, you missed a product rule because they are 2 things times each other, right? Can I take a derivative of x squared? 2x. Y to the 5th because I'm doing product rule. But every time I take a derivative of x, there's no extra term. But every time you take a derivative of y, there's a dy dx, right? Because you got x squared times 5y and then dy dx.
Like that's the answer. For the like where the y.
5y to the 4th, thank you. So it's 12xy to the 5th plus 30x squared y to the 4 dy dx. Well, this is how you take a derivative of 6x squared y to the 5th. But this is just an expression. This is not equation. So there's nothing you can solve for. You cannot isolate dy dx because this is the expression. dy dx is the things I'm looking for. It's a main character right now. This is what we're looking for. Because that's the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for dy dx, which is the f prime of x. If I have an f of x. The problem is I cannot isolate f of x. But if it's a mixed term, I can isolate it. But this is not equation, this is just expression. Yes.
Wait, do we have to put the dy dx next to the x squared y to the power of 4?
Yeah. Or some people put a y prime. I don't like y prime. A lot of teachers teach y prime, save a lot of writing. But for me, I don't like that. Just because y prime sometimes you misinterpret in your brain. It's like y to the first power, and then so that's more risky for me. I'd rather using dy dx. I'd rather use implicit notation. It's much better, and also gonna help you when you go into related rate. So I will stick with the dy dx.
But why didn't you put the dy dx next to the 12x?
Because I didn't take a derivative of y on the first case. I take a derivative of the x squared. X squared is just 2x, just like what we did here. When we do derivative, you told me d to the dx of x squared is 2x. So what I did is I take a derivative of this x squared is 2x. I didn't take a derivative of y.
So you'll leave the dy dx if you took the derivative of x, right?
Of y.
Of y.
If I take a derivative of x squared, then there is no dy dx. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a question. So that's just say if I have 2x squared minus 6x squared y and plus y to the third equal to negative 6 plus y like this. And I say, hey, I want to find the implicit derivative. Now, why do I need implicit? Because I cannot isolate the y. I got y to the third, I got y to the other side. There's no way for me to isolate the y. Got it? So what we're going to do is we're going to take derivative with respect to x here. And d to the dx is 4x. That's very easy. Now here's a tricky part. I'm going to show you a trick for all the students. Is just do -6 and just do a parenthesis right here because I gotta take a derivative of x squared y. So I just parenthesis. And that way I can only focus on x squared y and I'm not focus on 6. If I focus on 6, there's a lot of mistake can happen. So I don't prefer that. So I'm gonna take a derivative of x squared, so it's 2xy plus x squared dy dx. Does that make sense?
How come you didn't put 2xy times dy over dx?
Because I didn't take a derivative of the y yet. I only take a derivative of x squared.
Okay.
So it's 2xy. Now, when I take a derivative of the y, it's after I do the right d left. Left d right. So it'll be x squared dy dx. And then plus 3y squared dy dx. Now, most common mistake is actually not the implicit part. It's people don't know how to take a derivative of -6. That was just a dumb mistake most people make. And guys, derivative of a constant is a number. It's 0. Write down 0 if really help you. Plus dy dx. Now, do you see all the dy dx term? What I do is I isolate on one side, but I'm going to distribute first. So be 4x minus 12xy minus 6x squared dy dx. Is that okay? Plus 3y squared dy dx is equal to dy dx. Guess what? dy dx, dy dx, dy dx. Hopefully all the dy dx term is on the left hand side because that way I can isolate. So I'm going to equal to 6x squared dy dx minus 3y squared dy dx because I'm over the other side subtracting plus dy dx. I'm going to factor out dy dx here. 6x squared minus 3y squared plus 1. And I solve for dy dx is equal to 4x minus 12xy over 6x squared minus 3y squared plus 1. And that is the f prime of x. Now, I could isolate f prime of x. I cannot isolate the y though. And that's why implicit is very powerful. And the best thing about implicit is you don't have to take derivative with respect to x. In the future, and when we talk about times, like how fast something moving, you can take derivative with respect to t. Then everything is implicit. Doesn't matter x or y or z or h or r or v. They all have dv dt, dr dt, dz dt. They all have different type of things. Not you're not gonna have just so exclusive to y that you had to change your dy dx. So do you want to try one question? Any questions so far?
Why did you decide to take out 4x minus? What was the benefit?
4x minus 6. Oh, I didn't take out 4x minus 6. I take out negative 6. What is the benefit of doing that is I can just focus on taking derivative of x squared y. I'm not focus on taking derivative of negative 6x squared.
So it looks like you just took the derivative of
X squared y. So this is what is. This is this thing going to here.
so you just took out 2x squared minus 6.
Yeah, I take a derivative of x squared y, so it's product rule. So a product rule of x squared y is lefty right, righty left. So I'm gonna take a derivative of x squared, which is 2xy, and then plus I'm gonna leave the x squared alone, and I'm gonna take a derivative of y, which is dy dx. You know how like Windows they have that. Omar, you had a question first.
Yeah, so once we solve that part derivative, we don't do quotient relation. That's our answer.
That's all derivative. That's implicit. You don't have to deal quotient rule. Oh, you do sometimes. Not yet.
Okay. That's not.
Yes.
But every single time you take the derivative of y, you have to write y dx.
Yes.
If it's in terms of dx, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be in terms of something, and you have to write it for x and y.
Yep. Which is like data rate. You had to do it both. All right, try one. So x squared minus 5x squared y to the third is equal to 2xy minus 5. This could be one question right here. How many product rule are they? There are 2 product rule. Yes.
For implicit derivatives, do you ever have to do chain rule?
Implicit derivative, you are doing a chain rule. You just don't realize it. For example, y squared, you're doing a chain rule because there was these 2 bubbles, and then you're doing the derivative of the inside respect to x, and that's how you get dy dx. That's actually not bad. That's actually good. Distribute a -5 and then isolate the dy dx. Now, you might have a chance after all. I'm kind of upset about your parents will take you to Cancun in the middle of school.
Oh, yeah. Because my dad's 50.
50s. Okay. Understandable. 50 is a big birth. Huh?
50 is important.
50s, I guess, important. That's understandable.
So I would breathe and I messed up it and I just changed something.
So how's your younger sibling like? Are they like you? Are they better?
Yeah. Not really.
Not really. Oh boy. Why do you say not really?
Because they work hard, but they're not super young.
You are smart and you don't work. You gotta isolate dy dx, Sean.
Huh?
Where's the dy dx go? There's no dy dx. Where's the dy dx? Anytime you take it to y, you need to have a dy dx.
Do I just put dydx to the
Look at my previous step.
So
Look at when do I have a dy dx?
I have a slight problem with the X.
Oh, there's a product rule. You're missing product rule again.
Oh, am I?
Yep. It should be a product rule.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Guys, gotta go watch a video.
I got this. I'll get a second brush. I'll take it off.
This should be moved to the other. Before you typed out. Because you typed out the UIDX, this one.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god, I was trying to leave it.
I think it looks alright. I cannot see because your handwriting's kind of messy.
Just to make sure, sorry, I came in a little late. I'm a doctor.
Everything
I
good?
take the M5. I took the this 5 and I can't
Take what?
I take out the 5.
Are
Right?
you okay?
Yeah, fine. I was a dermatologist.
Oh.
Don't worry about me. And I would get
It's okay. You're not like good looking.
It's okay. I'm not losing an eye yet. But let's take this and bring it to the bottom.
See the first part though.
The 5 is not supposed to be there. I'm not sure exactly. Like I wasn't able to watch your video last night, so I kind of just like.
I thought 5 times 3 is 15. The 5 is not supposed to be there. Or that's a 5 you're not supposed to be there. This 5 not supposed to be there because -5 times 3 is already 15. So you multiply it twice.
Oh, so this 15 is not supposed to be here?
No, this 5 is not supposed to be there.
Okay.
Because the -5 times this, -5 times this. So it's just 15.
Oh, I was doing product rule, I guess.
It is supposed to be product
that is
rule.
probably-
It is product rule. You did it right. The product rule is fine. But this -5 you distribute to.
Oh, just one?
You don't have 5 and 15. You only have one 5. So it's total
Okay.
15, not 15 and 5. You distribute -5 into
Oh,
here,
okay.
it's 15.
Okay, I understand.
So
Thank you.
you got one extra 5 there.
Alright, that makes more sense. Thank you so much. Do you mind if I stay here calculated?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You have a donut?
Huh?
You have a donut?
Which kind?
I just never wanted to take any strawberry or something.
Oh.
Too sweet for you?
No, I like sweet, but I like jelly.
So them Szechuan pepper donuts. Yeah.
I would like to have sriracha donut.
Mm-hmm. Are you in Ryan's here?
Huh?
Are you in Ryan's? I'm taking my. You got donuts? No. I have one out of the meeting. You can light it if you want. Take a little piece. You don't hear? That's good.
This one's not right because on the right hand side there is a prodigal again. But you did really well on the left hand side.
I came in
On the
late.
right hand side, you have a prodigal again, so it'll be y what 2 parentheses y plus x dy dx. And derivative of phi is gonna be 0, so it's gone. So that's the only part that is good, but other than that, it's really good.
I'm not actually. I'm not leaving. Staying here.
He's missed you, Ashford. He said it secretly to me.
Only one line.
Josh just wake up. Are you sick? Might have COVID. So what we'll do is you guys did a note about implicit derivative. We're gonna start with this question. See if you can do implicit derivative correctly. This is the same question. So,
Well, you have to find a second. Because sometimes when they, because I'm planning on like, I gotta like, I take this class because I'm petty, and I need to get a good score so I can rub it in a bit. So
in my face?
yeah,
What's got to do with my face?
I just like getting a good score in your class.
Oh yeah, look. What are you doing?
Because I don't want to lose it.
What do you do? What do you do?
Probably another, right guy that does the ramble. Probably another ramble, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
How many product row are they? Good. Pretty essential to have good handwriting now. So, because everything's kind of mumbling together.
Minus 10.
Did you find on both sides and isolate you leave out exactly?
Oh, did everybody register for AP Classroom in this class? Everybody? Anybody haven't done it because you might not be able to take AP exam if you haven't done it yet. Does anybody need a code still? No, you don't actually. You need to take the BC exam. You need the BC one?
It's supposed to be 3y squared dy dx. Find x squared. Taking the of the left and multiplying it by the right. Dy dx out.
So that's the one test question right here. There's total 3.
Two times.
Yeah. No, man,
So Tony is in my class last year, and Tony failed my class. But yesterday I was walking by while tutoring, and I saw him like holding last year's test, and he was studying up on last year's test. So I was like, that's kind of not fair, but so I'm gonna ask him to post on a group chat for last year's test, because that will be even playing field, right? It's not fair that you have access to last year's. But whatever test question is, all the other thing I post on the last 2 days review anyway, too. Like all those 13 questions.
tonight or tomorrow?
If I see him today, I'll tell him to post it. But there's no answer to it, so.
Um,
Do you guys check with each other answers? You find out later on? Left side, you forgot product.
Did right and left. That big to give left. Like I'm like did right plus left. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to complete everything for. The rest isn't that bad. It's just getting what I said your dy with dx factor get out means it's just bad to get it. And then we have lane
So what you guys got? Oh, it's plus. All right, my answers posted on there. Check your answers, see which right.
Is there ever an instance where we keep the constant, or is it always take it out? It's just a simple mistake.
Okay, I mean, so again. Yeah, I'm missing with that one too. CSV, I think I did it on
Heard that question. I didn't double check it. Which is the right? I got a text.
minus 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You asked.
Against double. You product please? Go, just avoid both.
X and
Okay, I have another one here. You guys got it?
Cosine over negative cosine. Where's your font?
Is that what you get? Huh? You kill kitten if you get so.
So when I find the derivative of sine,
You'll be completely wrong if you cancel it.
distributed at cosine.
Yeah, but where's your, the first side was fine.
Like I was supposed to find this times X. Yeah, I'm gonna delete them all.
Well, I want to see it. This is changing. Yeah. No. Oh, right here. You do your sharing process. You're supposed to have the sign.
Is this okay for everybody or no?
You need to keep the.
The one is positive. But then how do you get? This thing is mine.
Oh, no.
You can already get rid of
Yeah, you have to do outside. Same thing.
Now we finished this yesterday. It's x squared plus y squared equal to 16. But most of you guys was left when I finished this. So I'm gonna start again. If I want to find d2y dx2 here, this one's gonna be probably the hardest one to see what's going on. If I'm gonna take a derivative of this, Taylor, pay attention. I'm gonna get 2x plus 2y equal to 0 dy dx. Is that okay? I'm gonna get 2y dy dx equal to negative 2x. I'm gonna get dy dx equal to negative x over y. Is that okay so far? That's the first derivative. Now I'm gonna do the second derivative, which just means I'm gonna d to the dx again. Now remember this, right? And also remember this, right? We're all gonna come back to use those two boxes eventually. So those boxes like here and this box here, we're gonna use that. How? But we're gonna take a derivative of this first. How do I take a derivative of d2y dx2 here? How do I take a derivative of negative x over y? It's quotient rule, right? Low d high minus high d low, right? Over low low. Are we okay here?
Is it a positive x in the second term because there's two negatives?
So low d high minus high. Okay, yeah, do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna get negative y squared plus x. Now dy dx, I'm gonna replace that as negative x over y. Does that make sense? I replace the dy dx with negative x over y because I'm gonna use the first box. I told you I'm gonna come back and use those boxes.
How do you get the negative y squared?
Wait, hold on a second. Oh yeah, sorry, that was negative y. Yeah, I'm not feeling well right now, so sorry about it. That's gonna be negative y minus x squared over y squared, right? Now remember I told you a trick to get rid of complex fraction is multiply the denominator top and bottom, so by over y. If I do that, I'm gonna get negative y squared minus x squared over y to the cube. It turns out you can actually simplify more. Take it out the negative sign. Does that look familiar?
16.
16.